Okay, hello everybody. I have a little bit of time here to try to rush through a bit of the game tonight. Maybe I can get us back to the burrows. Right, we came from the burrows. On the way we got ambushed by them 5 kobolds from up north. We vanquished them and we made it back to the camp with our gnome handmaiden, and they're pretty pumped about us. And I just want to quickly kind of rush through this interaction tonight and see if we can't get back to the burrow and potentially get another room explored, right? So we kind of agreed, or like forced a bit of a narrative, that the gnomes are going to vouch for us against the evil map maker, right? We have the evil map maker. He's all tied up and we're back to the camp, and we're going to do a little bit of negotiating with these guys to see if we can get them maybe to hold on to him for a little bit and then maybe come with us to town to vouch for us, so we're not just like bringing up the tied up books and map seller, right? And then the mayor potentially being on his side or something, right? These gnomes could come up and they're going to vouch for us, but their agreement was they'll do that if we can clear those 10 floors of the dungeon and whatnot, right? So that's the little agreement here. But we're going to see first. I'm going to do a couple rolls to see if they agree to, watch over him and stuff like that. They're pretty ecstatic about their gnome handmaiden being returned, right? That we rescued from the burrow. So I'm going to make the rolls a little bit easier for us. We're going to say it's only going to be like a 10. We're only going to need a DC 10 to pass some of these checks we're going to ask them. And who's got the higher of the kind of charisma, the persuasion, I guess we do. So -1 persuasion. Sorcel, Summer, keep your mouth shut, right? Don't get involved in this. Golly, say, I'll do all the talking. He's got a persuasion of 3, and he's going to see if he can't sweet talk them into watching over our little captive here. So that's going to be the first thing we do, is we hand off the gnome handmaiden. Hey, huzzah, hugs all around. You guys are the best. And we're basically going to say, hey, we've been traveling all day. I know we rolled for this already, if we're allowed to make camp with them, right? They kind of agreed. We can make camp, but we had to pay for water and stuff like that. And it's the end of the day. We have to go through a ration. That is right. We've spent a day exploring. So we're going to break some Golly's bread here. So again, they only need a pound of food minimum per day. And there's 2 of them. So each ration is worth 2 pounds. So between Golly and Summer, they need 1 ration for the day, is how that works out, right? 2 pounds. So we're going to take Golly's ration. And however, he's going to burn through his water, right? A full day. They need 8 pints. We got 2 water skins, and it's 4 pints full for the water skin, right? So they have 8 pints in total, but their water needs are 8 pints. Unless it's a hot day, then they have 2 times the water, right? So again, this is the end of the day. We're just kind of getting through this here. I know we already rolled for our midnight encounter on the last episode, but we got to get through these little formalities here. So we need to replenish our water. Let's ask again now. Will these gnomes let us have free water for having, rescued their handmaiden? So again, on the persuasion, +3 to the roll. We need a 10 to pass. A nat 20. Bang. How about that? You know what? Maybe we could even, on a nat 20, on a roll like that, they're super pumped, right? Like, oh my goodness, you brought back our gnome handmaiden. We don't have a name for her. Again, if anyone's watching this and you want to name the gnome handmaiden, you want to name the camp, the archaeology camp, and everything like that, feel free. Give me a name in the comments of this, and we'll go with that name, whatever their archaeology discovery camp is, what their band name is, or whatever they are, what guild they're a part of, and who their names are. What's the handmaiden's name, right? Remember, there's 5 gnomes. Well, 6 with the handmaiden. So if you guys want to name them all, feel free to. If not, maybe I'll roll for it if they become bigger players in the story going forward. But on a nat 20, they're pretty pumped. They might even give us some rations as well, right? They might feed us going forward. How about that? On a nat 20 on a roll like that, from now on, anytime we spend the night in the camp here, we get to replenish our water. We don't got to pay for nothing. They're gonna supply us because they're so pumped we saved that gal. And now the big question: will they watch our captive here? This one might be a little bit harder. You know, it is. You know, that's a harder ask to do. He is bound and tied up. But so maybe we keep this one at a 15. Oh boy, a 6 plus a 9. They're not willing to just watch him. Would they be willing if we paid, right? If we gave them some money? No, again, they really don't want to watch this guy. He's a little too dangerous. I don't know what else we could do. Like, we can't... Do we just keep lugging this guy around? I don't want to go up here without the gnomes. They're them vouching for us, right? So I don't know what we can do with this fella, unless we fudge some dice here. What if we just kind of continuously keep asking and upping our gold, right? Let's start the bidding here. 10 gold. I know this is kind of like cheating, right? It is going to pull out of our gold we have. So there's that. Let's say, would you do it for 10 gold? No. Would you do it for 20 gold? Okay, how about that? Is that cheating? What do you guys think? It gets that guy off of our hands. And, you know, there is the potential for him to break his bonds as well. So how about this? While we're exploring, like they'll watch him for us, I guess. They'll take him off our hands for the 20 gold. So I'm gonna have to write this down on a piece of paper, right? Pay the gnomes 20 gold pieces to watch the map maker. And maybe he gets some chances to escape his bonds, right? Maybe we give him the same amount on the random encounter table we have, like for the plains hex. So he would kind of, you know, you check in the morning, you check in the evening, and you check at midnight, and we would roll. What do you guys think? What should we roll the... I guess we'd follow the rules of the rope, right? Where you roll on the DC. We'll do that. We'll give him the same amount of... Anytime we check for the encounters in the plains hex, we'll do that. So we're at 3 times a day, we're going to check and see if he breaks his bonds. That's kind of giving him a lot of opportunity to escape the bonds, but he just might, with a bunch of gnomes, right? He might be able to overpower them and flee. Either he'll go here and warn the town and stuff like that and try to get them turned against us, or he'll just flee to the kobold lair that he's kind of allied with. We'll set that precedent. And if I forget this later on after our dungeon delving, just remind me. That's what we're going to do. I could write a little note for it too here once we're all done. What is it? 3 times a day check. Map maker escape. Okay, I'll try not to forget it, but if I do, remind me in the comments. Okay, so we have that. We're going to pay them 20 gold pieces to watch our guy, but we still run the risk of him escaping. But it is what it is, right? Maybe we'll luck out on the rolls and we get to keep this guy and all this. But you know, what's a story without a little bit of razzle dazzle here? Summer, she's not gonna pay for that. She don't care about that. She's just security, right? She's like, this is your plan here, Buster. Like, you still gotta pay me in like a day or two. So we are back. We are down to 303 gold. These guys hit a serious lick, man. Look at that. 340 gold for summer and 300 gold for Golly. We're due for a shopping spree here pretty soon. But again, we got some plot threads to handle. So they spend the night. We get our long rest. We've recuperated all of our health points, all of our spells, all that good stuff. And we're going to set off to the Burrows first thing in the morning. We did our midnight check. So again, this is 5 miles. We're going to travel the 5 miles back to the Burrow. We're going to say we're going to do one random encounter check on the travel. We're in the Plains hex. According to this, right, we check in the morning. So we're in the wilderness. Technically, it's a 1 in 10 chance. So on a 1, we have an encounter going back to the Burrow. So a 10, we're fine, right? We just need to roll that 1. So we made it back to the Burrow, fine. And we're going to go back and explore this dungeon. We're going to try clear it, like, as far as we can get, right? We got to clear 6 more rooms. So this is room number 1, right? This is like the rough entrance, and we went into here already. We explored. This is room 1, 2, 3. We went down those stairs to room 4 with the pillars where we found the gnome handmaiden. The only thing we didn't check was this top door here, and we could almost like rule this out. If we're at 4 rooms, and there's 2 doors down here, this could potentially be 5 and 6, and then this could potentially be 7 up top. We could risk this door, which could be trapped, right? That's the risk of that. But we're fresh, right? We have fresh health. We'll have our healing spells. So I think if we're gonna want to start messing around with a trapped door, now's the time to do it, right? So let's get in. Oh, another thing I'm gonna do. Technically, we cleared this, right? So, however, we're gonna run the wandering monster rule again, right? Every 30 minutes, we check for a wandering monster, and I think because we're just entering, we're gonna kick it off with a check like that. So on a 4, no wandering monster, we're fine, and we're good for 30 minutes until we keep going. And remember, our rule is for every 200 meters, we creep along, every 200 feet we creep. That burns roughly 1 minute of time. I'm following the Dungeon Master rule on here that I had read somewhere in here. Just trust me on that. However, I think we're going to impose the other rule. Anytime we find the room, it's 10 minutes of burn time, right? So how about that? So let's check out this door. I'm nervous. Okay, so I have my Solo Dungeon Masters guide, Solo Dungeon Masters Toolbox by Paul Bimler. The door table. We got a D100 roll. Let's figure out what this door is. Please do not be a trap. 65 we rolled. So on a 65 we have roll a D6. Here we go. Let's roll our D6 on a 5. It says, we have an iron door. Okay, roll a D6. Another 5. So on a 4 to 6, it's unlocked. Hey, how about that? Iron door unlocked. We don't got to pick nothing. Roll a D6 again. Uh-oh, here we go. This is where we find out if it's trapped. On a 2. Hopefully you guys seen that. On a 2, it is, what is it? On a 1, it's trapped. On a 2 to 6, it's untrapped. Perfect. We can just stroll on through this door. Iron door, unlocked, untrapped. Talk about some luck of the die. So let's go through the door here. And where does the door lead us now? I think what you have to do after, it doesn't just go to a room, right? You kind of have to roll the starting area again, because it didn't tell us what it was. It just said it's a door and it's unlocked, and now we have to figure out the starting area. So we need to roll the D10. On an 8, it's stairs. Okay, odd. Just a door and then some stairs. This might go upstairs, I'm thinking, because again, we have stairs going downstairs already, right? There's that passage. This took us left, and then there's that passage directly underneath it. So if there were stairs going down, we would run into the next room we have already explored, which wouldn't make sense. So if we find a roll on the stairs table that leads us down, we might have to change it to up. Now we need a D20 on the stairs table, which we have a 7 on a 1 to 7, down 1 level. How about this? It's up 1 level because we can't go down anymore. we're already there. So this just goes up 1 level to a roll a D4. On a 2, a 1 to 2 is a room. Okay, perfect. So it just goes up 1 level to another room. We've found the next room. This is quick. We might just be able to clear this sucker pretty damn quick if we keep ripping at this rate. On a 1, rectangular dimensions. We got a rectangular room. It's going to be 4 times 10, 40 feet by 40 feet. That's the square then. It opens up to kind of a pretty big room, 40 feet by 40 feet, and roll 1d6 for exits, including the one you entered by. So we got 2, so including the one we entered, so we got 1. Well, there's 1 door up here. So we cleared a room and there's 1 door up here. Now we need to find out the room contents. And on the room contents, we're going to roll a D100. I should be holding this sucker down for you guys so you can kind of see what I'm playing, right? That would be a little better for viewing. 58. The room contents has, on a 57 to a 67, level appropriate medium encounter. Oh boy. So medium encounter. And let's see, on 30% chance of loot. On an 84, no loot. 20% chance of a secret door. Hey, look at that, we rolled a 4. Oops, I flipped it there. We rolled a 4, so we have a secret door, and a 30% chance of a clue. What's the clue for? 41, no clue, but we have a secret door. Give me a moment. I need to make a list here. I got a lot going on, and I'm gonna forget all of this. Here we go. I jotted it down, right? So stairs up 1 level to a room. The room is 40 feet by 40 feet, which is really a square. It wasn't rectangular. We have a medium encounter. We got to roll for that too. Let's roll for the secret door. Let's stage this a little bit. Or is the secret door right nearby here? Or hey, look, let's dress the room really quick. On a D20, what's in this room? A 16. A ventilation shaft? Ventilation shaft. I'll have to use my imagination on this one when I go to draw this next little encounter room. Ventilation shaft, okay. Secret door, here we go. On a D, what's the secret door? D6 is a 2, 1 to 2. Secret door opens into a room. Hey! We were 2 birds, 1 stone. Once we handle the encounter, of course, but opens to a room plus 40 to room contents. Roll. Okay. Secret door opens into a room, but we have to find the secret room, right? Although we have that map, right? We have the first 6 rooms of this dungeon. We have, what did we get with the map? We have to look up the rules again, but that map's going to add something like +5 or something to the rolls for if we find the secret door, and that might help us. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's figure out what this medium encounter is. You know, maybe that secret door is the ventilation shaft, right? Maybe we see a ventilation, we notice a ventilation shaft, and then we can climb up into this ventilation shaft, right? If we notice it, we can try and make some dexterity checks potentially to get into the ventilation shaft, crawl on over to another room that we can add on to it. Hey, that would be a neat little scenario. But again, getting ahead of ourselves, what's the medium encounter? So let's bring it here. We might have to have a quick little battle. Monster encounters for the solo PC. We're going to go to 2 PC conversion table, and we have a medium encounter. So 2 PCs, we're level 1 still. At a medium, we're going to use the 1 PC level 1 deadly. Ooh. 2 PCs level 1 medium. To determine this encounter, use the 1 PC level 1 deadly. Okay. So what's the level 1 deadly? This might be a tough fight. You never know. D6. Rolling it on a D6. We roll the 6, which is 1 quarter monster plus 1 0. Oh boy, I hope we don't get another gas spore. I hate the gas spores, man. They're easy to kill, but they're sketchy when they blow up. So let's see what our monster encounters are going to be. Creature tables by environment. CR, we're going to go to the dungeon underdark, and let's roll for this quarter let's roll for the 0 monster. He's right there. A D10. What do we got? What's in the ventilation shaft? Or guarding it maybe. On a 6, a Myconid Sprout. So that's kind of like a mushroomy guy, I think, right? Let's see. I'll write him Myconid Sprout. And let's roll on our quarter, which right there. We need the D20. What's the big guy? A 9. We have a Goblin. Look at that, our first Goblin. First Goblin of the campaign. I think we'll be able to smoke that guy, man. We'll smoke that Ute. Him and a Myconid Sprout. What are they doing? What are they up to? That's going to be our encounter. Give me a second here. We got to look up these monsters and figure out what the hell they're doing. Okay, so we have, it would be a Goblin Warrior. He's the 1 quarter challenge rating here. So I was thinking we were going to get a minion, and I remembered the stats from the minions. I'm like, oh, this guy would be no problem. But the Goblin Warrior is in there, and he might give us a little bit of a licking. Or he might try to flee. He's chaotic neutral. So we might have to roll. Usually if they're like evil characters or stuff like that, I just say they attack us. But on a chaotic neutral, we might roll on their disposition to see what they are. Let's see what the Myconid character is. What is it? Myconid Sprout. So we're going to come on here to the LMNOP. Myconids. Here we go. Myconid Sprout 222. Let's figure out what this guy is. Maybe they're having a little tussle on their own. 222. Lots of cool little artworks in these books, hey? Myconid Sprouts. More little sproutsy guys. This underdark thing is... it might be leeching into the rest of the dungeon, right? Because we kicked off those gas spores. And then we have a ventilation shaft. And then a Myconid Sprout. Right? Maybe those spores are starting to spread into the rest of the dungeon. You know, like we might have to try to get into that underdark area with a flamethrower and freaking blast those sprouts and everything. That, and it's kind of, it's a little bit experience farming, right? 5 of them. We could potentially make ourselves level up if we go kill a couple of them before we leave, but that's metagaming. Myconid Sprout's only worth 10 experience points. He's got 3 HP. Lawful neutral. These are kind of 2 neutral guys here. Are they going to attack us right off the hop, or are they reserved? Can we talk our way out of this? I don't know. What would they be getting up to? Let's read about them. I don't know enough about these. They dwell in remote underdark reaches, overgrown with molds and mushrooms. These ambulatory fungal creatures tend to their sanctuaries and avoid becoming embroiled in the conflicts of other creatures. Okay, they avoid becoming embroiled in the conflicts of other creatures. They use specialized spores to communicate, to alert one another to danger, and to defend themselves. When myconids encounter others, beings, they use mind-linking spores to allow nearby creatures to telepathically share thoughts. Nevertheless, the myconid's goals remain mysterious to most non-fungal creatures. This might be like a little scout for all those little gas spores and stuff like that, or potentially a myconid adult or something like that, you know. If they can, he's exploring more of the dungeon, right? We woke up those gas spores, and now he might be a bit of a scout from that area, checking out the rest of the dungeon, utilizing the ventilation shaft. So we could potentially be kicking off this dungeon being overrun by these sprouts and these spores and whatnot. That's the way my brain's going with these rolls and the stuff that's happened so far, which is pretty cool, and which almost puts a bit of a time crunch on us to explore this, because pretty soon all that fungal stuff from the Underdark, where would that be? Yeah, right here, right? Starting to leach on through. Maybe there's a bit of an airway in here for the ventilation shaft, and these spores are creeping up, and these fungal guys are coming up through here, and we might have to utilize a bit of a time crunch rule, maybe, of like, hey, if you don't clear this dungeon in a day or two, it's going to be overrun by gas spores, and then you're just going to miss out that, or you're going to have to come in with a lot of fire and light this bitch on fire. That's the rule there. Potentially. We'll flush it out, right? We're trying to come up with a little bit of a story here. Let's see, what was I going to roll on? Oh yeah, they're both kind of like neutral characters. And this guy avoids conflict, and maybe that goblin, he's also trying to like creep around the dungeon. He's like, oh, he encountered this guy, and they're kind of like having a hey, who are you situation. And now we popped up, and now they're like, hey, who are you, right? So let's figure out what the goblin is on a D100. He's got a 21. So on a 6 to 25, he's hostile. Oh boy. He is hostile. And what is the Myconid? The Myconid Sprout is 97. He's enthusiastically friendly. And he's lawful neutral. So if he's not gonna, he don't want to fight, but the goblin does. So maybe we popped into this room as this goblin is harassing this little Myconid Sprout, right? Maybe the Sprout popped in, and then this goblin was wandering around, and he's starting to bully him. So maybe this is an opportunity for us to help out this Myconid Sprout. And maybe we can get another guy to the party, right? Maybe we can do some convincing to have him join. It says they don't embroil in the conflicts of other creatures. So if we just started fighting the goblin, or the goblin starts fighting us, which he's hostile, will this thing just flee? Right? Is it gonna run away? Let's see what he does. What can he do? He can slam. This is the spore guy, right? And the Myconid expels spores in a 30-foot emanation originating from itself. Creatures in that area with an intelligence score of 2 or higher that aren't constructs, elementals, or undead gain telepathy. Gain telepathy within a range of 30 feet for 1 hour. Oh, it could try to talk to us, right? Am I tripping out? We're not constructs, elementals, or undead, right? We're humanoids technically. So, okay. Creatures in that area with an intelligence score of 2 or higher that aren't these things, we gain telepathy. So we would be able to talk with this guy, right? Am I reading that right? We got to protect this guy from the goblin, and we could potentially be having a conversation with this guy, and he could be our friend here. He could help us, but it all depends on some initiative rolls, right? If that goblin gets an attack off this Myconid Sprout, ooh boy. But okay, I got the story in my head. Now I need to put it on the paper. I need to draw out the next room here, the little ventilation shaft and stuff like that. I'll make it like a little room area, potentially. Maybe it's a bedroom or something. And we'll put these guys on the paper and we'll roll out this scenario. And if we can potentially stop this goblin from hurting this guy, we have a chance to talk with him and potentially be friends. And, tell him, hey, tell your gas spores guys to stop flooding the place. Okay, here it is. Here's the scene. We've got it all set. So we've got our big room. I just thought I'd add kind of the same pillars maybe that were in the room underneath it. Who knows, maybe they're going all the way through the floor and right through this upper floor. I made it look like a big tomb, right? We're in an infinite barrow, so I made it look like a big burial site, maybe the big king, right? Because we did have that roll for loot. We didn't make the roll, however. So I just kind of like made it look like somebody's looted this tomb already. Hopefully that's coming across here. But yeah, this is like a big crypt tomb thing. It's been looted already. Maybe some goblins got in here. So here's our cast, right? Here's the one goblin, the goblin warrior. He's going to be harassing our Myconid Sprout. I don't have a Myconid Sprout, so just imagine that's what this guy is. Imagine he's a big mushroom head. Of course, we got Summer. She's leading the pack. She comes in the door, right? Sees the scene. Golly Godsford, he's got the lamp. He's casting that 15 feet, 5, 10, 15, a bright light straight ahead, an extra 50 in a dim light. So once again, we should be able to cast enough light in this room. Now let's get the stage set. I have 8 squares by 8 squares. Where's the goblin going to be on an 8? He's all the way to this end. And how far up is he going to be? He's going to be 3. So 1, 2, 3. This goblin's here. And where's the Myconid Sprout? He's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This row, how far up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's up here. Oh, I'm using my dice. So to set the scene, right, he's come up through that ventilation shaft. That's this. That's the secret door. And how we're going to play this, just declaring it out loud, is he is hostile towards that Myconid Sprout. He's in combat with the Sprout, and we stumbled on in. He's enthusiastically friendly to us. He wants help. And the way we're going to play this, though, because in his background it says they don't embroil themselves in the fights of others, kind of, right? He's just kind of a scout. He come through here because there's all kinds of kerfuffle going on. There's a goblin looting the tombs, and we're kind of looting the dungeon as well. So he's just scouting from the Underdark. They might have a fungal colony, and he's friendly though. So we need to protect him. This goblin's going to try and kill him. However, because he doesn't like, we're going to say they don't really like violence, if we kill this goblin, he flees. So we have to enforce some kind of a morale check on here. And some of the rules for morale sometimes is if they're outnumbered 2 to 1, which he would be outnumbered drastically, you would have to roll a morale check. But we're going to bypass that because he thinks he's got him licked, and he's going to go and attack him. So we have to get his HP down to 50% or lower without killing him. And if we kill him, he's going to flee. He's not going to tell us about the secret door. And if we can save him all that jazz, pass our checks we need to pass, he can potentially lead us safe passage through the Underdark in that room with all the spores, right? Once we clear this dungeon and we take the info back to those gnomes, Bringing it back to this room here, this Myconid guy, he might be able to get us safe passage through here past the spores. He knows how to keep them quiet and whatnot. Or there's a colony deeper in of his guys, and we might be able to have some friends in the Underdark. Those all depend on the rolls. So the next thing we need to do is determine for surprise. Did we surprise the goblins, right? So I'm going to roll 2 dice. So we essentially barged in, and I'm going to roll for Summer in our party. Boom. Highest roll is kind of wins the initiative, so to speak. Or if he rolls higher, tie. So we got to have another one. Whoever rolls higher gets advantage on initiative. So he's got the 4. Sorry, this was for the Goblin on the 4. And now Summer. Oh, this is tie. Third round. Oh, tiebreaker. Okay, his is a 3. Goblin's a 3. And we are a 4. Okay, so no advantage on the initiative for the Goblin. We're just going to roll straight across initiative then. Now, I need to bust open some books and have a look at this Goblin and his initiative, and then the Myconid, and then us, and then we'll come back to the rolls here. Okay, here we go. Got my little sheet. We'll roll for the Goblin first because I have him open to the page. He's got a +2 to his initiative. Rolls a 16, +2 is 18. Oh boy. Let's roll for the Myconid. The Myconid Sprout's got a 0 to the initiative, rolls a 2. Ooh boy. Okay, interesting. Summer, +2 to her initiative, rolls a 6, +2 is 8. Uh-oh. This Goblin might kill this Myconid right away, and then we're just shit out of luck. 13 for Golly, -1 is a 12. So the order is going to be the Goblin. Then it's going to be Golly. Then it's going to be Summer. Then it's going to be the Myconid. Okay, so this Goblin is going to go first. Uh-oh. And this Myconid only has 3 hit points with an AC of 10. And we just tanked some rolls right off the hop. There goes all of our little pipe dreams potentially of getting into this Underdark here. So the Myconid, here we go. The Goblin has a speed of 30 feet, and he's just going to come on around. He's in a battle with this. He was looting the area, and they got into it. So he's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. He's going to make a roll here. He's got +4 to his scimitar attack. Let's see what he's got. A 12 +4, 16. His attack hits. He rolls, he just kills him. Unfortunately, gang. A 1d6 +2 slashing damage. So his bare minimum damage which he did roll, right? We rolled a 1. +2 is 3 damage. Plus 1d4 slashing damage if the attack roll had advantage, but it didn't. So he does 3 points of damage, and our Myconid Sprout, it was a Myconid Sprout, only has 3 hit points. It was over before it even began. So, maybe in the process, this guy, he had said, help, help, help. Cast his spores telepathically, was shouting out for help for us or something, but we couldn't even get there. Goblin slays the Myconid Sprout. Goodbye. What could have been, right? That could have been a cool little plot hook. We could have got ourselves into the Underdark. Now we're just in combat. It's Golly's turn. He just seen this evil goblin smite this potentially good creature here, this little fungal boy. So let's have him charge ahead. He's got the light. He's screaming, no, my friend, right? 5. He's going to go 5, 10, 15. Let's move him on there, 20. And he's going to make an attack. We haven't had him make an attack yet. He's always been just kind of hanging back, casting spells. And he's holding a lamp, and he's just going to try smash him with the mace, because he's upset. So he rolls a 9, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So does a 13 hit this goblin? Let's bring it back to the goblin page. No, it doesn't. This is a goblin warrior. And he's got an AC of 15. So this attack just is a big blunder. The goblin catches it with his scimitar, blocks it. Says, who the heck do you think you are? Do we have any bonus actions? Just the healing word. Which again, if we could have healed our friend here, bring him back. We're not going to do that though. In the rules it says when monsters hit 0, they're just 0, even if they're friendly monsters. So we got no bonus action to do here. He just sullied that. Now Summer, she's going to come on up 5, 10, 15, 20. And she's going to make an attack now. Or let's see, what do we have? We're fresh into this dungeon again, right? And the Goblin Warrior has 10 HP. We do have Savage Attacker. What's the bare minimum a person could potentially do? Is 4 damage if you roll crappy with the Savage Attacker. Do we want to risk getting hit? Or do we want to burn up a Fire's Burn and just take this goblin out right away? No, let's make it interesting. Let's just strike at him with the Great Cleave here. Ooh, on an 8, plus 5 to hit. So that's going to be a 13. Ooh, we miss again. So this creature just, he blocks this attack, then he swings on over and he blocks this attack. Do we get any kind of extra whatnots? We should have entered a rage maybe to help us out here. Yeah, that's about all we can do with her. So this guy's, he's proven to be a warrior. He's proven his salt in battle. So normally the Myconid would go, but he's dead now. So that's round 1. Round 2, the goblin goes again. And who do you think he should? He just finished blocking, so he came here blocked. He came here blocked, and maybe he swings on back. Let's have him strike at Golly. Let's see what kind of damage you can do to Golly here on a 4 plus 4 to hit. With that scimitar, how many actions do he just gets to 1 action? Oh, he gets a bonus action. He can disengage. That's right, disengage or hide as a bonus action. So his attack misses. First off, Golly's got an AC of 12, pretty low, but he just made a bad attack, and as his bonus action, he will disengage from Golly. And he's going to pop on up and just kind of pivot around Summer. Just to kind of like maybe get out of the way. Position himself a little bit differently. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to work his way to the door eventually. Or no. Maybe he disengages from Summer, creeps on through, and comes down here. So he's disengaged from her. She can't make an opportunity attack, and he just kind of weasels his way down here. And should he chance? Maybe he's trying to flee. Does he make an opportunity attack? Let's see. Let's do a morale check on him, I guess, now. Well, he's feeling hot. He killed that thing. But maybe he looted this and he's trying to flee. Should he risk the opportunity attack and try to escape out of here? On a 1, he tries to do that. Okay, on a 2, he doesn't. So he's just going to hang back, and then we'll do another like kind of morale check after. So that's the goblin's turn. Who's next? Golly's going to go again. Golly is he's going to try head him off out here. and he's just going to block the way out this way. And he's going to make another mace attack. He makes a 9. So 9, what does he add to hit? 4? Yeah, so a 13. Again, doesn't hit. This goblin's blocking everything. And that's what Golly's going to do here. Now, Summer's going to come up right behind. She's going to get the advantage on the attack because we play the flanking rule. So on a 3, but with advantage, 7 plus 5 to hit. Still does not hit. Holy smokes, this goblin is blocking everything for his life. And that's round 2. No damage done, just a lot of swings and blocks and parries and everything. Now the goblin, it's back to his turn. Let's have him... Hold on, let me look at the rules. Can he disengage as a main action and then disengage again as a bonus action to escape? I'm going to look up this rule really quick. Okay, from what I'm gathering, he can only take that disengage on the bonus action because his actions are just like the attack and stuff like that, I think. I think that's how you play this. You guys can let me know. I was kind of hoping he could disengage, and flee, but he might still get this opportunity. He's going to, as the bonus action, disengage from Summer. He's going to pivot around Golly, and he's at the doorway. So he can once again kind of flee out this way and go down the stairs, and he can make it like a 1v1 situation, not get flanked now, and just kind of hammer away. He is going to attack at Golly again. Ooh, look at that. A 20, a nat 20. And the rules for the critical hit, I believe, is you roll the damage twice. If I am not mistaken. Let's bring up this rule again. Critical hit. It's not in the... Here it is. Critical hit. If you roll a 20 on the d20 for an attack roll, you score critical hit, and the attack hits regardless of any modifiers or the target's AC. A critical hit lets you roll extra dice for the attack's damage against a target. Roll all of the attack's damage dice twice and add them together. Then add any relevant modifiers. Oh boy, this is going to be a big doozy here. So his damage dice, he rolls a 1d6, and then we add the modifier after. So we're going to roll the 1d6 twice, and then the slashing damage if the attack roll had advantage. No, we disregard that because he doesn't have advantage. But we're going to roll that d6 twice. Oh, this could be horrendous. 4 plus 6 is 10. Plus the 2 is 12. Bad news bears, gang. Golly is down to 0 hit points. -2. -2 hit points. And he's out. He is out. This goblin blocked all these attacks, all these shots, and then pivoted, landed the frickin' mega slice on old Golly here, and just dropped him. Now he might change his tune now. He might not be trying to flee. He might be thinking, hey, I just did this to you. I might just try to keep attacking. But that's his move. Or he don't got to disengage no more. He's down. If he wants to flee, he can flee, actually. I was thinking he was locked on the Golly. He didn't want to risk that opportunity attack. But no, now he's just free. So where did he move from? He kind of pivoted, which you would count as what? 5, or you would have to go at 5, 10, 15, 20. So then maybe he flees out of here. 25 and 30. Which, what was our layout? our layout was the stairs, right? So here it is. He fled out this way, and he's down, what, 2 squares? What did we say? 5. He moves 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He goes down the stairs, and he's back to the main room 1. Okay, so he's fled to here now, that door. So this guy is right here. And Golly's down. He dropped the lamp. So this lamp doesn't move now unless Summer can pick it up. So Summer might just get one chance to come and strike at this guy. And hopefully kill him. If not, he's running away into the darkness because Summer might have to backtrack and grab this light. He does have dark vision too. The Goblin Warrior has dark vision, so she does not want to fight this guy in the dark. And she needs, her greatest weapon is the Great Axe. But it's like a 2-handed weapon, I believe. You've got to hold that sucker with 2 hands to attack. It's like a big one. Oof. What a turn of events. Let's come on down to Summer's move and end the round. So she's going to come 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. She's in the stairwell. This light casts 15 feet, so 5, 10, 15. He's just in range. This would be her last attack she can kind of make before he's into the dark. So we're definitely going to burn through the fire's burn here on this next attack. We kind of need to, we might rage. Let's rage. She just watched her friend get dropped here. Well, I don't know if it's her friend yet, but her employer. Let's burn through a rage. The bonus action first. And let's use a fire's burn if this lands, right? If that can land. So do we get any help to the roll? Advantage to what? Strength checks, strength saving throws. No, not really. Our speed does. No, we don't have that. Keep looking at that. Yeah, that's all we can do. Hopefully this hits. Hopefully we can frickin' get some revenge here. Come on, Summer. How about that? What do we have? Do we have anything to let us roll again? No. That's it. That's all. Wow, this took a nasty turn. Okay, that's the turn. Now it's the Goblin's turn. And he's going to swing on Summer now. And on a 14 plus his 4 to hit. Oh, he hits her. She takes a 1d6. Is 2 plus 2 slash, so 4, but she's resisting because she resists the slashing damage. So she only takes the 2 damage. And she's down to 12 hit points. And that's the Goblin's turn. Golly's got to make a saving throw. Death saving throw number 1. 13. Anything above a 10, right, is a success. So let's cross off a success. Okay, now. No. What did we just do? Summer went, and then the Goblin. Yeah, he attacked, but he got to flee. That's what he's got to do. Hold on, I gotta look back. Okay, I know what I did wrong. I had to go back and look at the footage. I completely jumped one of Golly's death saving throws. So I'm gonna go kind of backtrack and roll another one for him. And would you know it, we got another 13. So he's got 2 successes on a saving throw, which is good. And then I should have been tracking my rounds a little bit closer. So now it will be Summer's turn again, I believe. And she took damage, I think it was, on her last one. So that keeps her rage active. I believe that's the rule for rage. If you either make an attack, or you take damage, or you burn up another bonus action to stay in rage. And she got hit on the last attack. So now she gets to make another one. Sorry, and Golly's still here. Still in range. We didn't play this goblin very good. We should have had him flee into the darkness, I think, on his last turn, right? But I think I'm just giving us a little bit of a shot here. This is Summer's last shot at romance for hitting this frickin' guy. And on an 8, yes, an 8 plus 5, so another 13. He's got an AC of 15. He blocks it again. Oh my God. I'm nervous. I am so nervous. So, the goblin, let's decide. He's going to make an attack. And I guess we'll see. I guess if he lands it, he's going to just keep swinging away. Because maybe he thinks he's got her on the ropes here. So here we go. Here's Goblin's attack on Summer. On a 2. Okay, good. So he misses this one. Now we need to decide, does he play it smart? Does he flee? I guess what we can utilize is our solo Dungeon Master guide here. Because like I don't want to do us any more favors. Let's go to what do the goblins do? And there is a monster reaction round by round. And what does this say? At the start of each combat, or perhaps every second round, roll for the monster's reaction. If there are multiple monsters, roll for the first one, then the others. If intelligent, will base their attacks on the success or failure of their ally. Okay, so she blocked this last attack, so maybe he's going to decide what his next reaction is going to be. And so we're going to roll a D100 on an 86. It says here that if your last attack missed, the creature feels a swelling of courage. It makes a wisdom check. If it succeeds, it attacks with advantage. If oh, this didn't help us. If unsuccessful, it attacks as normal. Okay, so it said basically if our attack missed, it's gonna make this wisdom. Oh, I rolled a nat 20. Okay, so if we follow this rule, it attacks with advantage on the next round. Like, do we follow that? We could potentially be dying. Well, if that's the case, I was just trying to find out if he flees into the darkness, because he can get there now because he's away from the light of Golly here. In which case he can just make off with the loot. Boy, decisions. Does he stand and bang? Because he feels like he's winning. He's just been smoking everything. Like he's been blocking every shot. He's been hitting every hit. Aside from that last one, which maybe he's thinking, oh, my luck's about to turn, and maybe he flees and he becomes the next big baddie, right? Let's play it like that. How about he disengages as his bonus action? He missed his attack. He disengages and he can move 30 feet. Let's see. Sorry, I got to flip through all my pages. They're kind of fighting here, right? Summer's within the doorway. No, they're both outside the doorway. Summer would be here. And the last little bit of light shining through the wall. And now Summer kind of stops seeing a bit. Or no, it's dim light. She would have disadvantage on attacks here, but well, he still has full advantage. But he can disengage and go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's out of the dungeon. He is out of the dungeon. Now, Combat's over. Did I miss somebody? Golly's last death saving throw. He's had 2 successes. We could just roll one to see if he would have... Yeah, he would have failed one. And then it'll be Summer's turn to go and do a medicine check on him. And... but I guess the combat's done. Potentially. I have to look up some timekeeping rules on this. They are in rough shape, but she's going to backtrack through here. She couldn't do nothing. She kind of failed her gig here. She's coming on back. Boom. I think Golly was right there. And like, holy shit, how are you doing? What's a medicine check? We need to do a medicine check. For Summer, she gets a +1 medicine check. And that's to stabilize him. I think that's how that works. Let's see, what would it have been? A 9 + 1 is 10. I'm going to look through these rules really quick. Okay, here we go. It says, so he would be that check we made. So what did we roll? A 9 plus her 1 was a 10 for the medicine check. And that is the 10 we needed. We just made it. So we stabilized him. And now a stable creature doesn't make death saving throws, even though it has 0 hit points, but it still has the unconscious condition. If the creature takes damage, it stops being stable and starts making death saving throws again. A stable creature that isn't healed regains 1 hit point after 1d4 hours. So that's unfortunate, because we have the wandering monster rule of, what is it, every 30 minutes we check for a wandering monster. So we would, at that 1d4, we'd have to roll this and potentially run the risk of getting the 4, in which case we would have to do multiple wandering monster checks. And that would be dangerous if we get one. Because like after we get his 1, that only brings him up to 1 hit point. And then he can heal himself. So in this scenario, we just might have to abort this mission. Summer's got a big carrying weight. She's got a big carrying capacity of, let's see, what did I write down here? She can drag, lift, and push 960 pounds. So she'll definitely be able to drag this, drag Golly out of this environment. So that might be the case. I was hoping we could, ace some checks, check out the secret door and stuff like that. But as it happened, this goblin was a menace. This was a vicious menace, and I think we have our new big bad evil guy. If you want to leave a name for this crazy new villain, I think we just created a new villain, right? We wandered in, and he just slayed that Myconid after raiding the tomb, so he's got a bunch of loot on him. So we're going to say he's got loot if we ever run into this character again, this goblin. And we might give him some more buffed up stats from the monster manual. We might level him up because he just freaking aced us, right? Whereas he was the goblin warrior right now, he might go on and level up to be a goblin boss going forward. And now he's the big goblin boss because he's got all this loot. He's got all this stuff. We can advance him too. And let's figure out where he could flee to. I guess, how many squares do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kind of areas here. I guess there's this, like this is the quarry for the city, or there's the hills. So maybe or he could go to the scrublands. This is where the kobolds are, though. There's a kobold lair. And then maybe this goblin, because if you guys remember from the quest before, there was like a guy preparing to go to war in the hills, and the hills kind of start here. So that goblin could be coming from there. Let's decide. Is the goblin fleeing to the woods? Is he fleeing to the marsh? Or is he fleeing to the hills? So on a 1 to 2, hills. On a 3 to 4, the forest. And on a 5 to 6, he's going to the marsh. So what did we say? On a 1 to 2, 3 to 4. So he's on the 3 to 4, he's in the forest. That goblin character is fleeing, and he's from here. So now there's a good chance we know that there's goblins here. There could be goblins in this forest, and there's kobolds in this scrubland. There's a lair here. So we got lots of baddies to kind of deal with within here. And that's probably why this dungeon's so dangerous, is there's always the chance of things coming on down, and these poor gnomes just don't know what's going on in here. Neither did we. We got freaking lit up, man. We got lit up here. So we're gonna abort out of this area. We're gonna pull our Summer's gonna drag. She's gonna drag Golly. She could still have some residual effects of that rage, right? It takes like a minute, lingers for a minute or something like that. So let's just say she's still feeling the rage. And she just wants to get him the hell out of there. And so she would have advantage on strength checks, and we're going to do a strength check to drag him out of there. And that would be what? Athletics, maybe? Or let's see. So on an 11, or with the advantage, yeah, the 11 plus the 5, the 16. If we had like a DC of 15, whatever, she's going to be able to carry him out, drag him out of this thing, and they're going to plop outside, and they can't go any further, really. She can't drag him 5 miles back to here, so they've just got to make some camp outside, and that opens up a scenario of surviving in the wilderness. We're going to burn up through all of our water by the end of the day. So in the morning, we're going to have to check for more water, or potentially travel back and risk an exhaustion point. Tonight, we got to camp out in the wilderness, and we've got to see if we are affected, right? When was that we set off? Was in the morning, and we traveled 5 miles. We did a random monster encounter check already, and we're going to come out here. We're going to say it's kind of like midday-ish or something like that. So we're going to do our evening check, our random encounter check. We're in a plains hex. We have a 1 in 10 chance of a monster encounter in the wilderness. 9, we're fine for the evening. I guess we have to do a survival check to make camp as well. How about this? Yeah, let's just check it really quick. And this is going to be on Summer, I think. Or no, we waited. We burned through like the evening, right? So we only needed to wait it said 1d4 hours to gain 1 hit point. So Golly's got a hit point. And what we can do is we can check for a camp now. So on a 9, who's got survival, plus 3 survival is going to be a 12 for Summer. And we got to come back to our little travel rules here to see what if we can find anything. So it would be under travel. I believe I need to look in the Dungeon Master's Guide and see let's see, Travel 36. There should be a chart. Here we go. There's foraging, navigation, and a search DC. Oh yeah, we should have been checking for if we're getting lost every time. I forgot about that. How about this? We're going to end the video here, and we're going to get through our survival rules. We're going to be hanging out in the wilderness a little bit. This whole time we should have been checking to see if we get lost every time we're rolling this way. So we're gonna flush out these travel rules a little bit more the next time we come in. All we know is we've pulled out of this burrow. We've waited a little bit, and Golly's got 1 hit point now, and we're just trying to find a camp so that he could potentially have a long rest. Otherwise, he's got to heal himself, and then we're gonna take it from there. So let's erase this, and he's got 1 hit point. Oof, what a brutal session. Brutal session. It's fun. I was getting so caught up in like, oh, this is kind of an easy game, you know? We've been just acing everything, and then this just took a violent turn for the worst. Anyway, if you're sticking around, you're still watching, thanks for watching. And yeah, leave a name for this guy. He's going to be a goblin boss that belongs to these woods, right? The, what did we name these? The Staffstall Wood? Staffstall Woods. There is now a goblin boss within there with some loot. So that could be something for us. You know, we got to purge a lair, we got to purge a goblin base, because these baddies are starting to spread and get bigger and bigger, and it could potentially affect this town. What an adventure. All just trying to clear a dungeon.